Did you see Kanye on Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, first of all, I think he looks amazing with the beard.
Right?
I think it's a really good look. It's interesting how first of all, I love Kanye. I love him. I get that he's like a neurodivergent, brilliant guy. It's interesting the amping up of the Jew hatred, especially in light of woke culture. It's so interesting how casually people like, oh, these Jews. I think it's just interesting. What did you
So
think?
it was it was interesting to watch how his mind works. Like, and he
So
acknowledges it.
self-conscious.
Tucker asks him a question, and like he says a bunch of other stuff that eventually circles back to answering the question if you're aware enough to understand a diversity of ways of talking about the same kind of idea.
I think he's so used to being misunderstood, misquoted, and slammed that
Right.
there's the part of him that this is what I want to say, and then there's the other part that's like, well, if you say this, then this. He has so many different.
Right. He already knows what the three slapbacks are going to be, so he addresses the background of the three slapbacks before he even says the thing he really wants to say.
Totally.
I think most of the stuff he said in there is like self-evidently true, right? And this connects to what we're going to talk about later when we talk a little bit about Rashida Tlaib sort of as well. But he said some interesting stuff, and the biggest thing, I never bring this stuff up with my sister or her family anymore because we're at peace and I don't want to, but I know my sister's husband both like loves Black Lives Matter and loves Kanye West. So I'm trying to imagine how he is resolving all of this in his own mind. Like he has a bunch of those like Yeezy shoes and, he likes his music, but like, I know didn't know how to deal with it when Kanye said he liked Trump. So like now, like I'm just trying, I would love to be like the fly on the wall inside of that dome, right? To see how he's coping with it.
I mean, I honestly think it was brilliant because I also listened to Candace Owens follow up with Tucker, and I thought it was a really interesting, like, kind of live art performance piece that they did.
Right.
So clever, and I like she made a really good point of like it's amazing the backlash for something as simple as White Lives Matter.
Right. But I just like the way,
I love Kanye. I would love him to be president.
It's obviously true. It's just like, okay.
It's so crystal clear. I think he's badass. I think he's an interesting, authentic artist.
What do you think about, I thought it was really interesting, the things he said about Jared and Josh Kushner and how Tucker acknowledged that those things are true. It wouldn't have surprised me at other times if Tucker had sort of glossed over that or kind of just moved past it sort of gracefully or whatever, right? Because Tucker's still involved in that sort of whatever that complex is, like that, whatever. But he was like, his little afterwards comment after the thing is like, those things he said are true, right? And I was like, okay.
I thought it was awesome. I'm intrigued. I'm glad that Kanye is like back in the public forefront, stirring shit up.
Yeah. I had never heard the word neurodivergent until like 2 weeks ago. And now like I hear it every day. I had never heard the word until 2 weeks ago.
Super in the zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first day I ever heard it, I heard 3 times.
I can see it when Kanye's speaking and his pauses. Like I can totally, like, I don't know if it's a psychic thing, but I know exactly what's happening in his mind. He's operating on a lot of levels.
Yeah. I think Tucker handled Kanye's, when I say handled, I don't mean like in a mind control way, but I think he dealt with it in the conversation way better than Joe Rogan did in the interview with Kanye.
Oh yeah, but Joe Rogan needs to like subtly put him down because of the Trump thing, like I felt like Joe Rogan was more placating him, but I felt like Tucker had genuine respect for him. I did not feel that from Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.